Ho, 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 ha, 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 he, 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 he. Hello, hello. Welcome to another Laughter Live in National Conversation Week. Ah, very good. Yay. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yay. Queen of Laughter is here.
We've got double queens, okay? You and me together. It's a royal
Just put the
flush.
crown. Put the crowns on. How are you, lovely Tove?
I'm just watching the live on my other phone because for the last couple of lives we've done, Sarah, I have got a black screen and the half a screen, and I can't see you. So I also have to watch the live on my other phone just so I can see you. Because at the moment I'm not even seeing you. So we'll get there, and it's obviously some technical reason. Who knows why these things happen? But we shall not be daunted. Onward we pursue. But anyway, there we go. I can see you now. I'm just behind times on the other phone. Hello. We say hello to everybody else for being here as well. Thank you for joining.
Oh dear. Well, this has made me purchase this National Conversation Week has actually made me purchase some cards from Shamazon.
Okay.
I couldn't stretch to the Stephen Bartlett has some conversation cards. Did you know?
I didn't.
Yeah, and they're a little bit on the pricey side. They're very good, but they're very a little bit on the pricey side. So I went cheapskate and got some. So, a collection of questions for deeper discussions.
Nice. I like that.
So,
Oh,
so I do say so quite a lot. Now I've got some so cards.
wondrous.
So tell me what's been the highlight of your week, Tove? We're on, what day are we on? We're only on Wednesday, aren't we?
Well,
It feels like it's been a very long week.
I had a call from Dr. Kataria, who's the founder of Laughter Yoga, and he and his beautiful wife Marjorie celebrate their 38th wedding anniversary on Friday the 31st, and he asked if I would MC their celebrations on the International Laughter Yoga Club on Friday. So I mean, if I'm intrigued to know how they can still be so tender and loving with each other after all of this time. And they are just so, they are really adorable together. It's so sweet. You know, when they walk in India, they are so revered that people almost like part ways when the Qataris are walking through. You can imagine hundreds of women dressed in those beautiful saris. So it's just this explosion of color. It's like you're in a glitter jar. And he's so sweet. They walk together in this kind and tender way. And it's wonderful to see that.
Oh, how lovely. Yeah, because you've seen them in real life. I haven't. So you get more of a feeling, don't you, when you see people in real life? You get the energy and the loving.
I mean, I first knew you online as well, and that you make such a good point, Sarah, because to see your energy and to be in your orbit is fun, and it's colorful, it's creative, and it's wonderful. So I'm so excited that people are going to be able to see you in August at Happy Fest. That's going to be amazing for them.
We have lots going on. We have Wellnergy, which is in July. Of course, we've just had Pride on the Range. We have Wellnergy on the 6th of July, and then we have the Happy Place Festival on the 31st of August, 1st of September. So there's quite a bit going on. And there's lots of little festivals as well that I still have to get in touch with people to confirm that they want me. So yeah, I got these adorable. They were like warming cushions or something. I think they had like heat pads in them, lavender heat pads from
Okay.
Aldi, years
That's
ago.
adorable.
And aren't they
That's so
gorgeous?
sweet. I like
It's like
the
Miss
freckles.
Sunshine is just my favourite, and Mr. Strong.
Oh,
And Mr. Strong reminds us to be strong in times when we don't feel strong.
it's adorable.
Yeah, yeah. So they keep me company. Having
Yeah.
nice things around like that, with smiles on the face is like, yes, that's
Yeah.
to
It's
do.
always,
I need to do. Yeah.
I've
So
got, I've got a
yeah.
little,
So you got to MC on Friday,
yes. It's,
and have
I've
you
got,
planned any special exercises? You don't have
I
to
think
say.
I'm definitely going to do argument laughter because I would imagine over the years, even though they are very sweet with each other, I would imagine there've been some arguments. Oh.
That could be a really good conversation.
And it's a nice way to diffuse, that's one thing that all of us can bring into our relationships. When you're fighting or arguing or tense in a couple, you definitely you're vibrating in a very stressful space, aren't you? And you take it very seriously. And I've got this little trick that I use with my wife, where I go and it's just so silly, that little like jaw diffuser, and it's like you could be and I go, oh, it's just like, I'll deal with that.
Little signal to say, I think we're arguing. Shall we stop there?
Lovely.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to go to sleep on an argument, right?
Ooh, I like
I
that.
I have, yeah. It's like I think it's an English saying that. Don't go to sleep in an argument. And I have done that before, and I had the worst night's sleep. So yeah, always forgive or resolve or something.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I had such. I was with my ADHD coach this afternoon. Fortnightly sessions we have, and coaches always say, "So what's been a really good thing that's happened last week?" And I'm trying to think. I'm really trying to think. I mean, I could always say, fabulous laughter session, etc. But I try and think
Yeah.
not about laughter so much.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of like shocks and disappointments, if I'm honest, this week. But I was like, actually, my mum getting a flat after all this time, and it's fingers crossed it's going to go through fairly quickly and smoothly. Um, and the case of this flat. Sometimes we should really listen to our gut and step away from something that we want so much, but it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And there's a certain estate agents where we are. And when I bought my house from them, they were fabulous, but of course they change hands. People move on in their jobs. And it was so hard to try and even put an offer in on the previous flat. It was so difficult. They made life so difficult and promised return phone calls and didn't. And it was just disappointment after disappointment. And in the end, they did accept the asking price, right? The asking price. Yeah, I'm going to accept the asking price. Fabulous. Okay.
Mm.
Um, and then her buyer backed out at the very last minute, like a few days before they were due to exchange. And they'd gone through all this process from I think it was August, all the way through to January, and then her buyer backed out at the last minute. So now we're on the process again, and it will be virtually a year from the go to the end of the process, which is very, very time consuming, very stressful for all concerned. But at least we can see that, you know, we actually should have stepped back from that estate agent and gone, look, I think there'll be something else. But you know, you want something so badly, but the intermediary thing is stopping you.
Yeah.
And it's meant to do that. It's meant to have the friction so that you don't do it, right? But if you carry on going through that friction and it's really hard and your gut's going, well, I want that thing, but it's getting really difficult to get. There must come a point when you go, actually, this is happening for a reason. Let's back off from this.
Yeah.
So yeah, hindsight is a great thing, right? We wish we had it, had the intuition, but hey, yeah. So I'm going to ask some fairly deep questions, not too intrusive, but fairly deep questions. And you can ask me the same question back, or
Brilliant.
something different. What do you think? We're going to go. We're going to learn about each other because we've laughed a lot. You know, we know about our relationships and so forth, but this is about who we are, right? Are you ready?
Great.
Are we ready?
And obviously, we'll also keep an eye on anybody who's jumping on the live, and thank you so much for being here. I'll try and
if you have any comments or want to answer this question as well, in the comments, do so, because we would love to have like this conversation going in all places. It would be amazing to have, you know, we'd love to have everybody on live, of course. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is quite an easy one.
Okay.
Right? What's one sign that you would probably stay friends with someone for life? One sign that you would probably stay friends with someone for life.
Wow. Wow. First of all, I'm seeing that confident Queen Jenny says, I like that things happen for a reason, so back down from it. Yeah. One sign that I would stay friends with somebody for life. Wow, that's, as you said, you do go deep quite quickly, Sarah.
It's the ADHD. Don't care.
Okay. If they were able to be with me when I'm in like a sort of spread out energy that is confusing for me, if that makes any sense, because I can have this kind of, I can go off in these multi-tangents, and I can be really deep down in a dark depression, and then I can be really frivolous and fun. But the thing that I would say, know that somebody I could stay in a friendship with them is if they could see me, probably if they could see me when I'm in absolute fury, full-blown anger, and still stand by, you know, not get drawn into my fury, then I would know that, you know, hey, they've seen me pretty much. That's one of the difficult emotions that I think a sign that somebody is worth being a friend with for a long time, if they could absorb my anger, in other words. Cool. And yourself?
Yeah. I think someone who stands by the same or very similar values, like being supportive, empathetic, kind, fun, loving, but can be just like a chill. Yeah, this is naff, isn't it? This life, it's hard, isn't it? You know, in agreement when we need it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Same kind of values, I think,
I
would.
like one of the comments we're seeing here, a friend who loves me singing badly.
Jenny, you're ace. And I don't believe it at all. Jenny's a great, she's a laughter yoga. Are you a leader or a teacher, Jenny? And
Just no.
and she does like the African movement dancing
Nice.
as well.
Very
Yeah, I've only met her online, but yeah. If Jenny, if you can come up to Manchester in November, for the Laughter Yoga Pros Fun Day, do. Would love to hear from you. Okay, have you got any
good.
questions from for me, or shall I carry on, Tove? What do you reckon?
Well, some deep questions. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Here's a here's a question for you. As a, how do you handle when somebody is in a service position, say for example at a shop, and you've asked for their help, and they are not giving you the kind of help you need, and they get aggressive with you and tell you to leave the shop? How would you handle that?
I'd have the rejection sensitivity thing where you go, oh, well, I will get out of the shop and I'll go somewhere else where there are nice people to serve me. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
That would put a real, yeah, sting
Causes
in
a
it.
lot of stress,
Yeah,
doesn't it? Yeah.
I would. Yeah, I would leave quite upset if I'm honest.
Yeah.
But then maybe I might revisit that shop and go and see the manager and go, I think you need a word with me. When
Yeah.
I feel braver, I might do that.
You see, this is an important question because it speaks about two things. It speaks about how we value ourselves and our right to be treated with dignity, and what we do about it when our dignity is compromised by somebody being rude or aggressive. And this is what happens because you're a heart-centered person. And so you would have that sensitive feeling, wouldn't you? That
Yeah.
you would feel triggered in a way, but you would also recognize, you know, you'd want to defend yourself, but you wouldn't want to be aggressive. You don't want to match that kind of negative energy. So it's an interesting space, you know. How do we handle it when it comes along? It's just something interesting.
What would you do?
Well, I've had a few of those situations unexpectedly. Here's one I can remember a few years ago. I don't know if you've ever had a situation where you turn your car into a parking and somebody is very upset because they were actually waiting for that bay. Has that ever happened?
Yeah.
Right. So you had no idea they were waiting. You came from around the other side. You hadn't seen it. And I had an incident where a man actually kicked my door. I hadn't seen that he was waiting for the parking. And I was like, I picked up my phone to actually, you know, I wasn't sure if I was going to phone somebody or what I was going to do, but I had my phone, and he snatched through my window. He snatched at my phone, and I was so adrenalized that I couldn't press the button to roll the window up. And then afterwards, he was still so raging. And you know that it was Father's Day, and he was there with his two children who were so embarrassed that their father had behaved that way. What I obviously caught such a fright from his violence, but I didn't know exactly what to do with it. And I noticed that being in that hyper adrenalized state, I actually physically couldn't do anything because I was so shaky. Yeah.
It's what is it? Fright or flight, isn't it?
Yeah. So in that case, I froze.
I can tell you a really scary situation. Don't want to upset anybody with trauma or anything, but I was on the London Underground, and the actual carriage filled with smoke, and we were at a standstill, right? And we were actually in a station. We hadn't even set off, and of course there was panic. Panic ensued. The doors opened, everybody got out, and I had that heavy feeling in my legs. I was like running, trying to catch up. It was awful. It was an awful situation. I was with my daughter, so I was obviously worried where she was.
Yeah.
We weren't holding hands. It was awful. And of course we had to go up some steps in London Underground, lots of steps.
Yeah.
It could have been an escalator, I'm not sure, but my legs actually froze on that, and I ended up falling just off flat on my face, just like crouched in a little ball on the stairs. And I just, my heart was going and everything. It was just like, I just hope it's not a bomb and it's going to go off. I thought, this is the end of my life.
Yeah.
And as it was just some smoke from something that had gone on in the engine, and it wasn't anything like we would expect in London, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't anything like that. But as we got to the top, I eventually crawled up after all the crowds went. I eventually crawled up on my own and managed to get my legs working. But it was just like, I know now, it was like the freeze, fright freeze. It was exactly that.
Wow.
And I was like, gee, I just don't know how I'd ever cope with something else like that.
You see, this is an interesting, it sort of came to us as an inadvertent conversation piece, but in a way, what laughter yoga does for us is that it builds our resilience and it builds our self-confidence. So I wonder, because those are two stories of us in the past, I wonder how we might respond now, because laughter yoga has taught us through our daily practice of showing up and laughing and learning to let go, and in a way almost having daily little cathartic moments of stress relief. I wonder if we might respond differently if we were in a stressful situation like that ever again.
Yeah, I wonder, but let's not put ourselves right there.
Yeah, not peak experiences. No.
Let's not do that on purpose. Just
No.
I think the practice builds up, and I think sometimes it can take 6 months, years even, for that calmness and resilience to to really set in. Because I was doing laughter yoga then, but perhaps not quite as intensive as I do now.
There you go.
And I think it was pre-COVID that it happened. So yeah, I do. I still go on the London Underground. I thought nothing like as bad can happen.
Yeah, I mean.
But funny enough, when we did get to I met Sophie outside, luckily, and we got to the other side of the road, and there was an ambulance fire engine going. I'm like, I wonder what's happened. Yeah, it's very strange.
Wow.
Okay. Has anybody ever had that where they're frozen? By the way, do let me know that I'm not alone on that one in the comments. Okay, this is interesting. You're very good with words, Tove, so you'll probably be amazing at this. What is one phrase you wish you could ban from everyone's vocabulary?
With the greatest respect. That phrase, with the greatest respect, as somebody is just about to be disrespectful.
I've seen that so many times this week as well.
With the greatest respect, and it's like, nah.
Goes downhill from there.
I also, it's funny, you know, that there's certain words that, you know, when people use things like when they're explaining something and they use a word like whereby, I'm like, my ears can just catch fire. I'm like, no, we don't need to use whereby. This is like and I don't know, it always feels like it's trying to be too formal, right? So yeah. And for yourself, all of these questions come back. They're boomerang questions, right?
Got a boomerang somewhere. Yeah, let us know in the comments what your phrase would be to omit, to ban from everybody's vocabulary.
Put it in room 101.
Besides the F word, the phrase, what's your biggest takeaway?
Oh,
it's like,
oh, here's another one. We're going to circle back.
The takeaway, I'm thinking Chinese chopsticks. Circle back. Oh dear. Revisit. Oh dear me. Yeah. Tell us what you'd like to get rid of, Jenny and people.
Yeah.
Oh, but this one's the best to last. Okay. How well would you get along with someone exactly like you?
You know, this is a good question. I like this one. You know, when somebody says, oh, Sarah, I've got somebody I want to meet, I want to introduce you to. She's just like you. For me, the first thing I go is, I hate her already. I don't want to.
Jenny says the weather. She doesn't want the weather bit talked about.
That's so funny. Yeah, generally, you know, like we like something. Here's the thing. I like something where we've got a common ground, where we share an interest. But here's the thing. I'm a very big energy, and you know, if somebody else is very big energy near me, I actually find them to be exhausting. And then I think, wow, do I exhaust other people? So, when somebody says I've got somebody that is just like you, you should meet, I have no inclination to meet them.
I feel like there's too much competition. Yeah. I'm like, oh no, I'll have competition. Who's going to win the brightest dungarees competition?
I am the dungaree queen. Give me my dungarees. I don't care if somebody else is wearing. Let's face it, those dungarees of yours, you know what? They delight people, Sarah. When people see you walking along, they just love it, and it's instantly recognizable. When I see you outside of a dungaree attire, I'm confused. I don't know.
Who's she?
Okay.
Yeah, we at Pride on the Range, there was a lot of people in dungarees. It's a gay thing.
Yeah.
And I said, how about we actually have a dungaree meeting?
Like it.
And we go, and everyone's in dungarees, and we just discuss dungarees and how good they are.
I love it.
And they said yes. So if you're watching this and we were talking, do comment. Okay, wonderful. Did we both answered that? All right. Do you have any questions, Tove, or shall I go on to the next one? What do you think?
Yeah, carry on. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next.
So, fill in the blank. When I am angry, I tend to ...
I tend to clench my fists. I literally get so angry that I can't tend. You know what? Here's a little confession. When I was my early days of radio, one of the first studios that I was in had a record library behind us, and we were still using turntables. And now and then, as I was coming to the end of a song and I had already queued up the next record, I would suddenly get this idea of, I know this song will mix so much better than the song I'd already got on. And I'd have to go, hang on, where is this album? So the records would be alphabetized, and the numbers and all sorts of things. And I'd be scrolling through the records behind me to get the album out. And I would literally be flipping off the one record and flipping on the other and dropping the needle on and queuing. And if I missed that mix, I used to get so cross that I can remember one time literally like punching the record library behind me. I was so angry because I had my angry fists, and I got all these little cuts across my hand from the edges of the albums. And I thought, I seem to have a rage issue. I think I need to do this.
Oh dear. And Jenny says she just rolls her eyes.
Oh, I like it. Like, nice one, Jenny. I don't know if I've ever seen you angry. Have I seen you angry?
No, but I do stomp around. I do stomp around. Yeah, I can do that quite well, like a somebody in adolescence.
Have you been a door slammer in a former life?
Have I been a what?
A door slammer. There is nothing more satisfying than slamming a nice heavy door. I love it.
Yeah. I got really angry today with some drivers. They were being absolute pillocks. So I didn't even do gibberish. I just went, I'm so glad that I don't live here anymore because they're absolute pillocks of drivers.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Nutty Knutsford has some bad drivers. Very inconsiderate drivers, I would say. Impolite, unkind, and yeah. So yeah, I kind of voiced it myself and gone, I am so glad I don't live here. Thank goodness. Feeling the gratitude.
Stop.
Yeah. But usually, I do gibberish when I'm angry. Which is, if you don't know what gibberish is, we'll just have a little gibberish conversation.
We see. My God, Zomba Kimba Jimba Number. I've just got. What's it?
Isn't gibberish great?
I can't see you, so I'm trying to.
That's hard. That is hard. I'm sorry. I pushed you to the limit. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Oh, you will love this one. I think there's two more. This is the second to last one. Okay. If a museum had an exhibit about you, what items would they put on display?
Wow.
Isn't that good?
That is a good one. I like that. I like that so much.
Come on, answer it in the comments, everyone. Yeah. Come on. What would the exhibit be?
Oh, wow, that's so cool. I love that. What is trademark? I think there would be, if they got hold of my 90s shoes, that would be a good part of the exhibit. I used to wear platform shoes that were this high, but not heels, all platforms that were that big. That was a big thing for me. I had them in every color. The one color that I loved the most They were bright yellow, and they even had two little bug's eyes sticking out the top. And my son at his school, he was in his house colors were yellow. So of course I popped those shoes on and took myself off to his sports day and was running up and down, cheering him on. And he was like, he was literally running away from me. I don't know her.
That does definitely sound like a museum exhibit. It
That
really
is,
does.
I mean, that's prize. What would they have of yours?
Yeah. It could be a pair of dungarees, right?
I love it.
Yeah, I think yeah, I think it could be a pair of dungarees. I mean, what else?
Love it.
What else?
For me,
um,
I
yeah.
used to have an obsession with Madonna. And I had an entire room dedicated to her. I had the Ray of Light poster, which was huge. And then I made a listello of all posters of Madonna. And at the time, her record company were supported by a certain record company in South Africa, and the rep was always so kind, and she gave me, if there were posters, you know, artwork of Madge, she would make sure that I got one. And you know, once I had, you know, when you get a limited edition print, if it's 17 of 200 or something like that, it was gold. I was so excited that I had it. And I had it framed, and I actually couldn't believe what happened, because the people who framed it cut off the limited edition piece. They obviously didn't realize that that was what was valuable about it. And I was like, no. Anyway.
Was there a bit of anger?
Yeah. So yeah, old that used to have Madge, but I have overcome my obsession, and I've calmed down. So that's why it would be good in the museum, because it's the previous version of me. I still love her material. I love what she's done in time, but I love a little less what she's done lately.
Material Girl.
Yeah, Material Girl was a rocker. I love that.
Oh my goodness. So anybody else want to comment what they're going to have in the museum?
Yeah.
What items would they have on display for an exhibit of you? Love to hear. Love to hear. I don't know anybody's, and I think Jenny's still on, but yeah. Okay. One last one. Okay. Oh yeah, it has to be this one. Ready?
Okay.
Imagine your daily routine had been turned into a reality show. I can't say the rest. Which parts would be the most talked about?
Oh my word! I would say there are quite a few. I would say I actually. Do you know those rolling things that you use for when you're stretching over your muscles, or you know, if you've got a pain in your body and you go on the roller? Do you know those items?
Painful thing, exercise equipment. No,
so I would say watching me on that. That is gold. That is worth. That would be. I would say the highest viewership, because the cursing that flows, and the fact that I'm the most sort of calamitous person on that particular on that particular piece of equipment, I think that would probably be some viewership right there. If they were filming me, that would probably be the one that goes, "What's going on with this woman?"
Oh, I can totally get that. I had
And
kinetic therapy a few weeks ago, which was like a metal bar going across the muscles, and I was like, I can't even talk, can't even laugh. It was just like,
brilliant.
and I bet, do you feel like that? Like you can't even say anything. You just have to try and do it really slowly to
Well, yeah.
get into it.
It's like so extremely. I've got a private physio that I've been working with because I've got quite a serious fibromyalgia pain, as you know, and I have her on a gimbal in the lounge so that she's watching what I do and I'm seeing how she's doing stuff. But the two of us, I mean, if anybody were to drop in on those conversations and to see the items that we're working with, it would probably, you know, leave them thinking, what the heck is going on here? What is the scene?
Oh dear. Well, I do the cat and cow on
Yeah,
my bed on the mattress.
that looks like a certain Madonna video I remember.
And I'm thankful that nobody can see it.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh
Brilliant.
dear. But yes, it all comes down to exercises in the end, doesn't it? It's like, okay. The
So,
exercises should be on a reality show.
yes. But you see, that's the good thing, is being able to laugh along with them, you know, like people take themselves very seriously when they're doing their exercises and stuff. And I suppose because as laughter yogis, we've got this natural tendency not to take things seriously. Even though we're concentrating, we so easily get to the laugh. And I think it's, in a way, not only does it diffuse the tension, but it's actually really good. And it's so, you know, if you do some like belly laughing in the style that we use, the deep belly laughing, it really is a fantastic abs workout. You'll see people holding their tummies, holding their jaws from laughing so much. And isn't it wonderful? Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, you don't exactly get a six-pack from laughter yoga, but you do get a really good internal workout. And
I'll take it.
and I have to say that if you have IBS, constipation, laughter yoga is amazing
Coming
because it's a
through.
relaxant and it's a massager of your internal organs. I mean, you can't get better.
This has
Yeah,
been so much fun. Thank you so much
yeah.
to everybody for being
Thank
on.
you. Thank you.
Being
I'll stay on and say goodbye to everybody. Thank you so much, Toby.
nice to see
We'll check our diaries. We'll see if we can
you.
do the same thing next week. Hopefully we can. Fingers crossed. Um, thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you. Take care.
See you.
Bye.
Lovely Tove Kane. Lovely Tove Kane. She's the one of the UK master laughter yoga trainers, and she's just incredible fun and just so authentic. Bless her. And I'm so lucky that she comes to co-host the laughter yoga leader training with me. And the next one's in October. We've got a couple of people booked on already, which is exciting. So yes, let's breathe. Let's breathe. And exhale. So important to breathe. I learned today the 3-part breathing. If you want to join me, it's really amazing to do. So first of all, you're going to breathe into your tummy area, your lower abdomen, and breathe into the nose, and then you fill up the upper area of your chest and then the top area of your chest in 3 stages, and then you exhale through the mouth. If you want to try it with me, it's just so relaxing. So first stage, the lower abdomen, let's breathe into the nose, and then the next stage, and then the top, And then release it out with a smile. That's it. Another one like this, breathing in. Another, and another, and let it go. Wonderful. So I hope you sleep really well tonight after lots of that laughter and lots of interesting conversation in National Conversation Week. I'm going to check my diary and hopefully I'll see you next week if you check yours. Take care. Well done for watching. Bye bye for now. Sara Kay, serious laughter over and out. Bye.